What's going on, folks? Out here in Austin, Texas, dealing with a company called Texas Built Homes. Okay, so what they do is they retrofit out FEMA trailers as well as regular residential. So what we're doing today, trailer, and we're powering up one of their FEMA trailers. Now, what does that mean? That this is an emergency 5-bay or 5-person living facility. It has water, it has air conditioners, amenities, all that jazz. What we're doing is we're testing the numbers today with the trailer and the battery bank to operate this facility. Now, the amount of solar that I can sit up on top of this one particular roof kind of almost represents about what's on the trailer itself. Roughly between 12 and 15 solar panels is what I estimate. What this system needs is what's on this battery bank. So I have 60 kW of storage capacity, lithium iron phosphate, okay, 51.25, built into a 16 cell configuration, which that means is it takes 16 of these individual batteries in configuration with a BMS, battery management system, to equal one battery. There's 4 of them, so there's a grand total of 64 battery cells inside this bank running off of 4 JK BMS systems. What this system actually is able to do is slam in about 4,700 watts from solar and then push out a roughly 11,250 watts. It is designed for 12,000, but I have it tuned for 11,000 plus watts just to keep it underneath that threshold so it doesn't overwork itself. It does have an off and on switch that is directly tied to the actual switch of the inverter itself, so it's just off and on like how you would with the toggle. These are smart switches. They discharge up to about 50% of the battery bank from a separate line. So this is 120 volts coming off of each one of these. These are 20 amp breakers. They're GFI protected, things of that nature. And like I said, this is a smart switch separation where you have this cable here going to the actual panel box right there. It is powering up. Now, what makes this unique is besides Wi-Fi communication and all that other jazz, I actually have a BMS communicating factor that can tell me if I show up on this job and we're having an issue with this particular battery bank, it will tell me that it's pack number 2 and it's cell number 6. So I'm able to go ahead and retrofit out that cell while it's still in operations, pull it up, put the new one in, and put it back online. So this is the DC breaker for the battery. This is the AC output for not just this. This is smart load, so this has its own breaker on the inside. But this has a 60 amp disconnect going to the main disconnect going to the house here. And then, of course, this is the other DC disconnect. So we have one for solar, one for AC output, and one for battery. But other than that, this is a fully welded box tube constructed frame. 12 panels, 395 watt monocrystalline bifacial. So 395 watts bifacial actually makes 436 watts power output. That's basically what that comes down to. So the facility, like I said, has 5 of these AC mini splits. I'll go ahead and take you a look on the inside of one of these little dwellings over here. This one's kind of packed up and locked and ready to go. So, like I said, we have the air conditioner, lights, no TVs, pretty small cramped space, but definitely big enough to stick a bed in there and survive the night, especially with a washroom and a pooper sitting on the other side over there. So, I'm gonna close this bad boy up. But like I said, I'm out in Austin, Texas, dealing with Texas Built Homes. We're doing this doomsday testing for at least 24 hours, so we're going to go ahead and run this bad boy, and then tomorrow we're going to pack up and we're going to find out if we got a contract or not. But go ahead and let you hear on this other back end part. So plenty of homes to test and play with. They basically want a contract for about 400 of these off-grid applications dealing with these doomsday preparations. So, all right, until then, thank you. God bless. Hope you have all a great day. Bye.